Today we have a scene in our chantry. The scene will begin with Eamon, who is drinking a green tea. He is preparing the tea slowly, and he wake up. Took a shower. He is going to go out actually to get some clothing for himself. He has, I presume, some money, but he is preparing this green tea, probably left by Grace, and he is. It just she did look like a person who would have green tea, and he is sad. How she died was very sad, trying to save another person. So he has this weird look on his face when he is in the common room, and that's how our scene will begin.
In the if he's been there, Ty has actually been up since the early morning. He's out in the yard. Um, he's taken his top off. He's just wearing his trousers, and he appears to be like doing lots of weird things. Like at one point, you saw him like making some noises, and then like a flock of birds kind of like came to him. Um, you've seen him like just do like just basically experimenting with various things and communing with different animals. Um, and then at one point he starts kind of doing like dog howls. And do you want me to roll for it, Carl? I will roll for it.
I don't know if he's here, but Eamon actually comes near Ty.
When you
You're
come,
practicing?
you wouldn't believe the stuff that I've been like trying out and learning. It's amazing. Like I can feel a connection with these creatures.
I'm very happy to hear. I actually was thinking about some of the stuff I can do last night, and I want to try them as soon as possible. But a couple of them are actually dangerous to do around here, so I will probably do them later.
You actually see on Ty's body, mostly on his arms, there's a lot of track marks. Does that translate? Basically, like the scars from like injecting heroin, like on his arms.
Hmm. He has a medicine one, but he doesn't say anything. His eyes goes there and goes up to his face. Uh, the I was actually talking with Gwen last night. I couldn't sleep that well.
Oh,
Yeah, we were just talking. The
cool.
the last when we are leaving the sewers, by the way, there were some mole people who said that they know us and they know what we are. They said that we will come there to talk to you, maybe offer some kind of alliance or whatever.
I'm gonna leave that to you guys. I don't. I don't really know anything about that. That sounds strange, but good.
I agree, it does sound strange but good. At the same time, I have heard that like we have a big. I was checking around. We have a big library there, but we don't have any books.
Huh. Okay.
We can ask traditions, but I don't think they will just give us freely.
I'm not even anywhere near there speaking to these House Gryffindor or Slytherin or whatever. Just gonna concentrate on me for a little while.
I completely understand. Just as like my mom's calling me.
As Eamon goes off to collect a call from somebody, Ty is going to howl into the sky and attempt to summon the local stray dogs. So the howl will probably be pretty loud, like people kind of nearby will hear it, but obviously dogs will hear it like much further away. And yeah, so Difficulty
I'm
should
back.
be 5. I'm just going to do. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly do my.
Go right ahead. Go
You will
right
come-
ahead.
You will come back from your phone call, and you will see Ty, kind of like howling like a dog would. And how much reduction for flair could I get, Carl, for him howling? Like -2. You're muted if you're speaking. If not, then don't worry.
I think he is still away.
Okay, I will just give myself -1 then, and yeah, he will begin howling. I'm going to do this as a ritual. I believe I need 5 successes. Summon all dogs in the area. That is 2 successes. None. 2 more, so that's 4. Just 1 more. This is my last roll before I need to start taking stamina checks. Yes, I have 6 successes. So Ty will howl, and within about 15-20 minutes of doing this, there'll be kind of like barks at the gate. And Ty will go over and let them in. And there's some like kind of like quite scary looking street dogs. They'll howl and they'll come in and they'll sniff him and they'll look kind of like a bit surprised. And they'll just kind of like go sniffing around. Then Ty is going to. Are you there, Carl?
Yes.
So I have 5 successes on summoning dogs.
Successes.
Where did you roll this, by the way?
I gave myself -1 flair because you weren't here, so I thought that would be okay.
Yeah, you rolled it in Mage dice roller. That's where you roll it. Yeah, 5 successes. You could anything more, and you would have spent a long time doing it.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really make sense considering your character. So yeah, 5 dogs are gonna, they're gonna show. Rat Storm wrote. I looked that up. It's a similar one. I think it has to. Give me a second. I will give you. Well, it's 5 dogs. 5 dogs show up.
Yep. And then Ty is going to, with Strongboy, kind of engage in using his like animalistic behavior thing, essentially kind of like showing some kind of dominance and communicating to the dogs that he's the leader of the pack, and if they stay here, they will be fed.
Keep in mind that's alpha stuff, but sure.
Among natural wolves, it is not among captive wolves and dogs. It's among family units. It's been debunked.
Well, it's among general wolves. In general, isn't that way unless they are forced, captured, and like put together randomly. Have some kind of association. But anyway, that's not important. You are imposing your way, so normal animal apply. Anyway, yeah, you can roll your thing. Have you rolled it?
No,
yeah, dogs
so
are
I
good.
wouldn't. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say the dog's gonna be sniffing you and looking about on this nice yard they haven't seen before. They can actually run on. That's cool. Strong boy knows what's up. He will speak to them in dog, keep them engaged. But they're all very like attentive towards you. Anyway, what do you want? You want to roll your thing to start communicating.
Basically, he wants to convey like the idea of stay here. Yeah, basically stay here and you'll be fed and looked after, and yeah, this will be your home. Blah blah blah. So I think that's a pretty easy command. Like, dog.
Yeah.
It's pretty natural for dog to kind of be
Yeah.
domesticated.
I would say that they're pretty much inclined to do that. Yeah. So it would be relatively easy for you to do it. I don't think you need more than like 2 successes to convey that across. Of course, you have to regularly feed them to keep them around, which
Yeah, for sure. I can steal food. Yeah, he's basically going to the flair will be again like animalistic behavior. Like he's not going to be acting like a dog, but like if a dog's uppity with him, like staring it down, like just kind
is
of
he
like
going to sniff them on the ass?
No, he's not going to sniff them on the ass because
That's dog behavior.
but he's not showing he's a dog. He's showing that he's a human.
But
And that
ass sniffing is a regular dog way to communicate.
he's
but
not.
sure,
He's not going to sniff their ass. But yeah.
sure. Anyway, yeah, you can roll that. I don't necessarily think that just acting like an animal in itself is, but yeah, his acid is one of your instruments. But anyway, yeah, -1 flare works.
Okay. Well, I have 2 successes there.
You have 2 successes. Well, yeah, you will eventually convey to the dogs the whole arrangement. They're up for it. Of course, to get them to be proper guard dogs out of character, you're going to have to like. And I mean, that Strongboy will help actually. Strongboy will help with getting them into being into a dog fighting force.
He'll do that, and that'll be represented by the experience you spent on it, basically.
Yep.
Cool. And then
Will you have Colt by Colt dogs as well?
Nah, Colt.
But yeah, after that, Ty comes back, and he looks pretty pleased with himself.
You seem you have done well.
Yeah, well, you know.
Pardon?
He just kind of brushes off the compliment. So, you explored this place, and I'll look at the old house. I mean, I've stayed
A bit.
I've played some.
There's
pretty-
also a labyrinth outside in the garden. Do you give it like a noticeable one?
like a maze.
Yes, I said a labyrinth. So yes, out of stone, not hedge.
Oh. Well,
So
wanna
do
look
you guys
around?
want to?
Yeah, let's walk around.
I guess they'll go to the labyrinth and look around it.
Well, the labyrinth isn't that you a bit
It's out of the maze.
time to the maze. It's stone that you can't look over it, even if you jump. But it's not a tall one. You walk through the maze and then reach the strangest chamber, like this you've seen in a while. The inner chamber is like are scribbled with uh, with mystical like carvings and stuff. You can see different all sorts of wheels and stuff all over it. In symbols, hoof. They're in grass in there. But there's in the center of the chamber, with stoked to have symbol. That's a
As far as I
Yeah,
understood, there's a maze, and inside of them there's a chamber, basically white hoof marks and other weird marks. Is it all that? Because you were cutting off, so I felt the need to ask.
Okay, do you hear me now properly?
I do, but I think there's still a lag.
Yes, I know, but the internet shouted, so unfortunately.
No, it's completely okay. I was just informing you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just telling. But anyway, no, what I said is, you maze. It's not. You could be lost in this point. You reach the center. There is a chamber with occult markings and like symbols. Some of them you recognize as Enochian. Seems to be a slightly different, so you can't read it properly. There is a pentagram on the ground, and between all of the symbols and stuff on the walls, there's white. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Feel free to react as you.
This looks strange, Ty.
Yeah, he'll be like, you think this looks strange? I would have thought this was up your street.
I have no idea what is this.
Well, neither.
Never seen these marks, but I know who has these marks. This is blah blah hoof, whatever his name is. Its name is
The horse
Glitter Hoof.
is to be in charge around here.
I never seen a horse in charge before in my life, so yeah, this is not my alley.
You can hear a horse Glitterhoof will enter in here. I'm going to help design this. This is where it's easier to communicate with. By the way, someone let in stuff.
It's quite cool.
Combining his with my stuff, but this place is somewhere that you don't need to prepare things. Simon tells me you need space to do it, so you don't risk the wrath of the spirits.
You make me want to learn the sphere of spirits. I'm not sure if I have it.
Look, Glitterhoof. How do you? I spoke to a big
Yeah,
bear.
Gwen, you can arrive in Tree Garden just to see.
Just to see.
Carl got quite a lot of lag.
Oh, no, he's gone at all. Nice. And he's back. Drop in, drop out.
Shake it all about.
Yeah, no, sure. Gwen will go to the garden and walk up.
Hello, Gwen.
Tile just nods.
Hey. So, what are you doing here?
Looking around.
This maze seems to be a summoning ground.
Oh, summoning ground of...
Spirits.
Interesting, I suppose.
Something wrong?
No. I was just,
Oh, okay, I'm finally back. Let's see if this works better. I'm using my phone's internet.
Oof.
Do
Can
I
you hear
lag?
us?
We can
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, good.
It's much better then.
Yeah.
So, where are we?
Gwen has-
Basically, Gwen arrived to the maze.
Yeah, she have Dresden Maze. I said something about Glitterhoof showing off and explaining that it's a summoning place and then leaving. So Gwen will see Glitterhoof leave the maze before she enters, just as a tidbit. Anyway,
I would briefly like to ask Glitterhoof, basically, like, how do you, like, this summoning malarkey, how does that work?
well, it's complicated. Only Simon really knows. I've just talked to some spirits I've seen, but summoning is a big, big thing. Just summoning them by itself, I can do, and probably maybe you can't. But it's difficult and dangerous, and spirits. There's loads of rules and protocols. Simon was a reader of the books and learned from Mage woman Ava, so he knows more. He can teach maybe, but I can't yet. Anyway, you the unmarked one. Bye. And then they will go out, so that you people can now continue the conversation.
Ty watches him go. Strange guy. I mean, talking horse, obviously strange, but you know what I mean.
It is
Yeah.
strange. This maze will be good for those who has the ability to speak with the spirits and summon them here.
Well, sounds like not necessarily my kind of thing, but she just looks at Ty.
Look, I didn't summon the bear wolf thing. It just turned up.
But you could talk to it.
With a shrug. Look, I really need to talk to you. I need.
You don't or you do?
No, I do. I
Oh,
need your help
okay.
with this thing I did. I know I have an addiction, and I know it's a problem, and I don't want to ask for help, but I need it.
I mean, you know I will help you. You don't even need to ask. You know that.
Yeah, weird that.
Agreed. But that's what it is, and we can jump high and low about it, but that's just a thing. It still kind of confused as to why this is a thing, but it is a thing.
So I obviously need to speak to someone that knows something about spirits and find out, like, is this something I can stop? Is this something I can do? The other option is 2 days a week. They're gonna take me over, and like they possessed me, and I don't know what they did, but they were not benevolent.
Well, I know how it felt.
Listen, I have a mentor. I will speak with him, and I will tell him what he needs to hear, and then we will find a solution for this.
I mean, wasn't Glitterhoof just talking about this Simon guy? If he's right here, like, why don't we go and try and find him?
I can find a Simon guy. We
Yeah.
should meet him. We live in the same place after all.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work or it's gonna take a while, I've got a strange ask. Can you like lock me in a room, or like I don't know, freeze me or do some wizard thing?
It,
Is he
Maybe
like looking at Eamon or Gwen?
like kind of both of them.
mm,
We can lock you to a room if need be.
I don't know how. Like, in all honesty, I don't know how your 2 days are gonna affect me.
No, me either. And I don't want them to. Like, I don't know what I did. I don't like not being in control. I know it's pathetic and needy, but yeah.
You can kind of feel Gwen like not really believing that because he used drugs on a regular basis, which basically was giving up control for a period of time. But she's not gonna say anything.
He's gonna look
She,
at her and just be like, just kind of gives it like looks kind of ashamed. Doesn't say anything.
Look, we'll try to help you best we can, and if locking you up in a room is gonna, like, I can keep tabs on you. Mm, I don't like the idea of locking you up though, but
I mean, I wouldn't normally ask, but I'm being possessed by spirits of heroin addiction or something.
Mhm.
I don't know. Some weird clouds. Like, I'm already feeling it. Like, that, the big high they left me felt like really good, and now I'm having one of the worst come downs ever. But I'm gonna start feeling that again, and I'm not gonna be reasonable. I'm not gonna be nice or pleasant or helpful.
Yeah, I know.
To understand this from the beginning, can you tell me what really happened? With all due respect, if it's your personal thing, I will not ask, but I think it may affect the solution that I may possibly bring.
I've been using for a few years. It's not something I ever really wanted to do, but you know, you
It
find
happened.
yourself in a dark place and whatever. Like, I'm not gonna shy away from it. I've never attacked anyone for it. I've never, well, I have stolen, but I've never stolen from people that needed it. I've never, yeah. But anyway, and now there's all this, and I just want to get rid of that. Like, he's clearly like super awkward talking about it.
What has changed, Ty?
He'll just kind of shrug. Look, I'm not one for all this touchy feely stuff, but I don't want to be a heroin addict. And
It's not about touchy-feely stuff, but if you know the reason why you want to change now, then you can pull strength from it when it gets rough, because you know it will get rough. That's why I'm asking.
what if you don't like the answer?
If I don't like the answer, then that is my problem, not yours.
Okay. That bear creature said that you're my sister, and I have something to live for. All this group, you, it's all super weird and connected, and it feels like I have a second chance, and I don't want to waste it. Awkward enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eamon tries to act like he's not existing at the moment.
I, it's I've
Look, I know it's weird, but it might be true. You're an orphan. I'm an orphan. We don't look totally dissimilar. I remember when I was a kid, I had a sister, for sure. I'm not just making that up. It's one of my
I,
vivid early memories.
I know you. I know you're not making it up. It's just that I don't really. I don't really remember anything from. Well, before. You know.
I get that.
And
He'll kind of
I
look. Sorry, go on.
I just I never really. I kind of. I always said that I didn't really care about what happened because I was I was happy with my parents, and this is just something I've not. It's just something that I'm not sure if I what to, I don't I'm not sure what to do with it. Okay.
No, that's fine. I don't. I'm not gonna like ask you for money or anything. I mean, aside from what I already have, but no.
I mean, that's not even the thing. Like, I don't care about that. It's just, um,
Look, I don't think we have to deal with this all at once. We have like,
yeah.
and he'll look towards Eamon. Sorry.
I said like he slowly left when you guys went
Yeah.
a bit deep.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
Eamon is currently just chillaxing, watching the animals pop about in the garden, probably. So
Yeah.
Should we go find him? Like, I'm sure there's other weird things we can find in this place.
Yeah, yeah, I think weird things that are not us is something that I would appreciate right now.
Sure. And yeah, they will go find Eamon again.
yeah,
I mean, like
fine.
was waiting a bit away from you guys. He nods to both of you again. Then you guys come back.
Hey, we're done. Sorry.
Yeah,
No problem.
sorry about that.
No big deal. Let's go. Let's go find Simon. But before actually we do, Ty, I want to tell you something.
Okay.
You know, like, have you ever thought before that if you had magic, what would you do before you become a mage?
He just gives you a look. No.
You know, I did, and I'm sure like my priority wouldn't be fighting necromancers in the sewers, but I did. But at the same time, to me, magic is self-exploration and becoming better. So I would help you if you need, and you don't need to ask like help or feel like, the way you felt, the way you asked. You don't need that. I would help you because again, it feels like we are in the same boat right now.
Okay. My warning is going to be when I'm jonesing, when I'm feeling it, like you do bad things. It blocks everything else out. Right now, I just feel terrible. But soon I'll start to want it, and I'll say horrible things. I'll be cruel. I'll be manipulative. That was before I was possessed by spirits of addiction. So I don't know what this is going to do.
It's something we will need to fix ASAP. But yeah,
There's one difference though. I'll be here. I think I'll be able to sense when you're like not yourself.
That's reassuring a little, I guess.
So by the way, the group gets into the house, where do you want to go? Do you want to go down or do you want to go up to the house? Because you've seen the first floor, probably.
we want to find Simon.
Yeah, but you don't know where in the house he is. So
We start to yell, saying, "Mr. Simon, Mr. Simon!"
no response. So looking it is.
You want to
Which
start
we-
upstairs?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Eerie.
Well, let me get up my floor plan. Okay. So yeah, you can go up to the floors. There seems no one seems to be in the big dining room or in the bedroom and the second floor. So up third floor, it seems to just be an abandoned library. You can see racks with books and a few desks, but there's no books there. It's just dust for the most part. The rack has yet to be filled up. At the top, you can see three bedrooms. One of them seems to have had. They all seem to have had inhabitants, but most of them are cleared out at this point. And finally, at the top, there is a very Spartan sort of bedroom and an office with a really fancy like computer in it. It's like really big, a big fucking rig with and several monitors all set up and stuff.
Whoever
Ooh.
used to own this, it was a big nerd.
I mean, does look interesting, but
I had a Nintendo at one of my foster parents once. It was fun.
You had a Nintendo once. Sure.
These computers can be sold. You can buy up many other things if it's owned by the old people.
I mean, I would wait a bit with that. If
Yes.
this is owned by previous inhabitants of the Chantry, there's a chance that there is something magical about these computers. I would not put them on eBay.
Magical computers. Isn't that a bit?
I don't know. Do you know?
Eamon pulls his wand, points it at the. He points it at the computer, and then says, "Estro." I
Roll
will roll.
me. Yeah, roll to see, sense any magic.
Okay, watch me botch this one. I have 2 successes.
You will, just for you, no one else sees this. You see a strange golden sort of glow radiate off the rig and the computer screens and so on. But it doesn't have the intense shine you would have expected if you had looked at a truly enchanted item. But this seems to have been worked with magic and altered and improved, and there seems to be something mystical about this. But that's just a guess, really. You can't really say that much more about it.
I guess that it's improved with magic. That's all I can guess. Actually, it has contest. It seems like it's used with quintessence, but there is no quintessence in it as far as I can see.
I mean, I would still prefer to inspect what it's all about um, before we go and sell things. Anything
No, I
from
agree. I agree.
What's quintessence?
it's like
Magical energy.
Do keep in mind, none of you have mage lore.
I don't. I have Did I? Oh,
I'll
I
do.
don't. I thought I do.
No, actually, you might have. Sorry, I
Thank
was
you.
I was thinking wrong characters. Give me a second. Let me go and look.
I,
Just to
I,
be
I
sure.
didn't buy it, but I was
No,
educated.
no. As I said, nobody here is a member of tradition. None of here, you know, some basic stuff because of your background, but none have started with free lores. That's not how it works in
Okay.
Mage. It's a specific
Okay.
knowledge you have to buy, and so you know some stuff, you know some terms, but you don't know any of the big things. I repeatedly said this. Anyway,
Okay.
go back to your talkings.
So I don't know what's quintessence, right?
Well, you know the basic idea that it's magical energy. You don't know any of the deeper things
Mhm.
about it.
Okay, that's well. See, that's also all I know about the contestants. So
Yeah,
it's
but
good.
just say that.
Yeah, that's literally all I know. I know that it's like magical energy, and that's it.
someone who actually has been a mage for longer than a few weeks.
You seem to know a lot more than me, Eamon.
It was bit, just a bit educated. That's all.
So, no one is up here. Do you want to go down now?
Yeah, Gwen will come back later and turn this thing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as the
So
three of
so
you
does.
eventually go down the 5 floors and down into the basement, the basement itself, at first when you go down, it seems to be a normal basement. And then you see there's several underground cavern rooms that's there. That's been expansions underneath the yard probably, and everything. So there's several cavern rooms there that seems to have been messed about a bit, but there's nothing overtly mystical stored there at the moment. What you will see, however, are 2 doors, or one doorway that seems to be closed off with earth, and one doorway that's open in the stone. That one is just a sleek open hole into the stone that seems to be leading into some tunnels, but you have to go and explore those. And the other one is a big mouth, almost like a big gateway where it says Barrow of the Void Serpent. It's carved into the stone on top.
Barrow of the Void, sir. Nope. No. No.
Yeah, no. You know what? Gwen is gonna tap her tuning fork to like both doors, and she's gonna try and see if, like, with correspondence and Prime, she can actually, like, find a trace of magical energy. Because if the Simon is like someone who uses magic, maybe she can follow a trace.
Well, you know what to roll.
Yes. A 6 and a 9.
6 and a 9. Well, as you tap your tuning fork and wave it around, there seems to be quite an abundance of energy within the barrow. But if you tap it into the, there's a faint wisp of magic you can follow. Like there seems to be just emanating of some sound waves of it left. But you would have to go and look more to find out more. But there seems to be something down there.
So this door there's a lot of magic here, and that one has more like a trace. So which one are we going to go in?
Neither. Wait, going through magical doors? I'm sure I've seen this in a movie.
Well, one of them is magical, the other one's just a hole. You can see in, it seems perfectly fine.
So if we want to find the Simon,
Is Simon a Barrow King?
I don't know. Let's go for this one. She is pointing at the one that only has a small trace.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
I would like to sense life around me. Sense human
I
forms.
mean, well, here's the thing: you can only do that in your immediate vicinity. If you want to actually like
Okay.
if you have to sense it in the tunnels, you would have to put off the effect and then go looking anyway. Correspondence is what you need to do it at a distance.
Okay. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but okay. So, do you guys go in?
Fine.
Eamon pulls his like wand and he's like, "Let's go, guys."
So as you go in through the tunnels, your nostrils will get the sweet aroma of decay as you walk through them. You can see there's some stuff left on the ground. The ground is pretty clean, honestly, but you can see there's several bits of flaked off skin on the ground. That seems rotting pieces of skin, maybe some flesh. There are bits. There seems to be an abandoned toy here. A TV left there, like an old box TV, some Victorian, like torn strips of clothing dangling off one of the cavern walls, and stuff. Whatever these tunnels were, they will be abandoned. Have been abandoned. It seems to be several tiny tunnels leading into small chambers that seems to have been inhabited at some point. There seems to be some electrical wiring in here, but that project seems not to have been fully completed yet. But as you wander through the caverns, you will eventually see the most obvious thing is you will see it in what seems to be like a big chamber at the end of it. You will see a long, like, cascading mane of unnaturally bright red, like crimson red hair reaching to the ground. There's a kneeling figure looking through the dirt by one, and he turns. Ah, who do we have here? You can hear a voice, and as you look around, you will see perhaps the strangest human person you've ever seen. Rising up is a completely bare-chested dude with like chromatic eyes. One eye is blue, the other one is blood red. The hair is long blood red. He has like black talons on his fingers. His son, several scarred markings seems to be over his body and stuff. And there's a very strange melancholy to his face as he looks. New members. I think the horse mentioned that.
Is this Mr. Simon?
Yes. I've not talked in a while, but yes, I am Simon, the last survivor of the Happy Dragon Chantry. Now moved here to the Brooklyn House Chantry, I believe. I doubt there's anyone else left. I've heard so many of them go. The undead who stayed here are gone too. To where, I do not know. I was looking for them.
Mr. Simon, I'm sorry that I have to tell you, but the Grace is
Oh,
dead.
I know. Her cat left a few days ago. I understood that her death had come. Death is a cruel mistress. It claims us all. In the end, he looks down at his talons and just looks. Anyway,
I am.
so you are?
I'm Eamon Valerian. This is Ty, and this is Gwendolyn.
Is that your name or is that who you are?
That is my name given by my parents.
Indeed. Parents. He looks to Ty and Gwendolyn. Hello there. Smell interesting, both of you. But you have a
Step slightly protectively in front of Gwen.
touch of the spiritual to you. I can see it. It's the mark of the beast, I believe. I do not have a totem myself yet, but you have been chosen as its child. Well, I hope you live up to his ideals. Or its.
How would I do that? I don't know
So-
anything what's going on.
Lost swans. Are you all completely new?
Well, we are. She kind of points at herself and Ty.
Well, maybe I
I
can
am
help
new
you.
as well.
Well, maybe I can give some assistance then. I've been a mage for months. Then again, I was also born some months ago, but that's a complicated story. Just say
What?
that in addition to my... Do you want help or do you want an explanation?
Both?
Well,
What he said.
my past is my own, but I can explain and help you much with other things. In time, maybe I will share my story with you. Come, we can leave these caves. I've been in them too long, and only echoes remain anyway. He's gonna start walking, the hair just flowing behind him, kind of like a river. Yeah.
Gwen will look at the others and she's like, "Oh, okay." She'll start following.
Simon will just absentmindedly trace his claws along one of the walls, marked, leaving scrape marks. A memento to the society as they have left us. And eventually we'll all reach up and we'll get to the kitchen. Now, I can teach you some. I've been taught a bit about the spirits, about the mages around us, about how to manipulate magic. But a lot of it's self-taught too. And I have sources of information that others do not. I can call upon insights that would leave many dazzled, but that's not to brag. Well, what do you need to know?
So, I think it's. You said that you've learned some things about spirits, right?
Well, yes.
So, Ty here has a little bit of a problem with spirits. He regrets a deal that he made without fully understanding what he was doing. Well, he made a deal.
Yes, that is a problem. Spirits is a great source of power. You can learn a lot from them, and there's a lot of companionship to gain from spirits. But spirits are a force of nature in unto themselves, and even I wouldn't necessarily say I'm that knowledgeable about them that I can make deals freely. It can easily, let's say, bite you in the ass, if you will. Um, a friend of mine, he looks kind of wistful at the moment for a moment. She made a deal with the spirit once, and due to several complex circumstances, she chopped off her hand. The deal had been to do no harm. Doing harm to herself was a part of it. She had not never excluded that from the contract. So, unwittingly, she broke a deal with the spirit, a spirit that had saved her friend's life. That spirit tried to harm her. It came to haunt her. And breaking deals with them also, it spread. Spirits, they gossip. They gossip a lot. And and they gossip about humans most of all, perhaps. And what we do, those of us who can talk with spirits, they will talk about. If you are known to be a weak dabbler in the field, spirits will know. If you're known to have a reputation as a great shaman or a powerful binder of lesser spirits, they will also know. If you break a deal, even if that spirit can't take its revenge, the other spirits will certainly know and certainly distrust you. And a powerful enough spirit can turn the entire local spiritual community against you. You don't want that. Trust me on that.
So this question is quite important then. If no one sees what happens, no one sees what happens, right?
You, yes, but do keep in mind, spirits see a lot more than the average person is. How do you know that what is an innocuous seeming rock in the spirit world is not actually a rock spirit? How do you know that the winds aren't witnessing what you're doing? They're not omniscient by any means, but they see a lot more, and it's much harder to take care of these things. Now, I I need to know the nature of this deal. How bad is it?
Um, I think we should, like, out of character, I think we should wait with this until
Yeah.
Robbie is actually
Yeah.
back.
So anyone else, just let's say we've already talked about that, and someone else is asking a question. Like said, Ty went out. Someone, you can ask a different question of Simon.
What is quintessence, Mr. Simon?
Quintessence is a term for the energy of creation, the power which is in everything. It's magical energy, sure, too. It fuels all. There's this place, he waves around the chantry, rests on a place of power. From here, you can draw quintessence into yourself to help power your magics.
How does one does that?
That depends on the mage. I can only teach you the way I do it. I communicate with my bloodline. I draw upon its spiritual potence, and with it commune with this darker place of power, this gothic place. I absorb its gothic resonance into it through the blood, through my birthright, and in that sense, I become more powerful. Others have different ways. I know people who withdraw it through technology. Others who feast on it, literally,
I
and many
also
more ways.
inherit. I also inherit mystic wisdom.
Well, I can show you the place where the energy most potently gathers. It's down below in one of the smaller caverns. That's where it is. It seeps in like water and blood. But anyway, Anything else? As that, I'm not all knowing. Do keep that in mind. But I know more, some. And I think I am the most senior among you. So I can give some guidance.
So, how do we actually start learning? Like,
Learning. Ah, well, that's a question. Don't we all learn every day? But ignoring that, you learn by being taught to an extent. You learn by experimentation. You learn by trusting your limits. You know what you can do to an extent, but the intricacies, the fineries of the art, that's different. I personally have learned quite a bit about spirits. I can heal and harm. I can communicate. I can bend nature as I will it. Energies too, and I can look into the mind, but only to a minor extent. These are tricks I've learned, been taught in some cases, experimented in others. I mean, if you want to, we can have a. I like to say that you can learn by doing a bit. Do any of you know how to manipulate the wind? And then
I do.
Ty comes back. Well, we can do a little practice session, a little contest, if you will. And we look to Ty. Now that Ty returns to the room, I'm told you have a disadvantageous deal with the spirit. I need to know how bad that deal is before I can tell how to help you.
I like vaguely remember it.
Well, you know what the deal is, I hope. I don't need to know how you made it. I need to know what the deal was. Or is.
All right, I'm just explaining it.
Yeah, explain.
So basically, I was really needing it, and they offered me what I needed. It's obviously been purposefully vague, and I gave them 2 days out of every week that they basically control me.
Not to be judgmental, but please learn more before you make deals with spirits again. Well, that's quite a bit to work with. There are ways to get around it. Of course, you could kill the spirits, but depending on how powerful it is, for one, it could be too much of a challenge for you, even if you have friends. Secondly, you don't necessarily know how much influence in the local spiritual community the spirit has. If it can actually ride you and use your body, then it must be more potent than most. But that doesn't say much. It doesn't have to be overly powerful. Um, there can be you can find a spirit to intercede on your behalf, but that's always risky. Um, you can find something of similar value, either something how much you value or something you think it will value. For example, someone else in your place. If you can find another with similar value to it, but
I'm not
a
selling
mage.
myself out. I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
I'm
that.
giving examples. Or you can agree to some different kind of service, something else to pay off the debt you have acquired.
Mr. Simon, I have an idea.
Yes,
You said the spirits has communities. In every community, there are people who likes and doesn't like each other. What if
sure.
you find a spirit that doesn't like the spirit and get it killed by the other spirit? You basically offer a service to other spirit and kill
Manipulating
it by.
manipulating spiritual politics is an example, but it's very risky, very difficult. You would have to know this spirit. Do you know its name?
Nope.
Well, that's problematic. If we don't know its name, then we can't actually inquire about it.
Well,
Suddenly, wait, give me a second. Give me. I don't need to roll. Give you shit. I get on your shit. Anyway, suddenly Simon's eyes like flare gold just for a second, and he just starts mumbling. It's the bringer of love, the carrier of love, the bliss bringer, the bliss eater. It comes in the night. It comes in the morning. When you're touched, you want it and want it and want it forever and ever and ever. And then suddenly I just go back to normal.
What the hell was that?
I don't know what you're talking about, but we can still find out about it. If it rides you again, we can inquire to its true nature, or at least we can see it in your body, mark it, and we can learn more about it in the future.
Tyler, look at the other two like, you see that shit?
Mr. Simon, you just said a couple words that made no sense. It was a bit enigmatic.
I don't
Is
I don't I don't know.
Can I roll enigmas?
Uh,
Intelligence
yeah,
enigmas?
yeah,
Thanks.
definitely. The saving
This is
is
the
very short.
okay. This is the first time about like enigmas in a beginning character, and I'm like trying to milk every fucking knowledge I bought.
This was a riddle of sorts, so this is very appropriate.
I
I mean,
have one-
Gwen actually has an idea, but
I have
yeah,
10 and a 7. I have specialty in book learning.
This is not book learning related.
Okay.
This is based on you interpreting information.
Hmm.
But remember, difficulty was 7, and you also have a 1. So you only have a 10. Once again, well,
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
this seems to be sort of tangentially related to what you were just talking about. It wasn't
yeah.
just like random words. This seems to be connected somehow. And it's clear that Simon wasn't actually aware of having said anything.
Tyler's gonna be like, that was the that was that was the spirit.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
I mean, um,
I
s-
I have I know maybe what you're all referring to. It's a burden of the or it's a boon rather uh, of my blood. I can learn much more about just with tidbits than most, but it's always mixed up. I think I know what the spirit is, but that is speculation. It's just insight. Um, I think I know its name at least, or at least what it might be its name. Uh, it might be known to some as the Blissbringer, but I was just
that
giving impressions for a second. Overwhelming.
makes sense, I suppose.
Remember, spirits have names, true names, epitaphs, all sorts of things. This might even just be an alias it sometimes uses. I don't know. Or it might just be nonsense, if I said anything at all. He shrugs.
Well, your eyes just turned gold.
I didn't know could do that. Interesting. Well, I mean, I can change my eyes to turn gold, but it's more difficult than that. But anyway, talking about learning. Well, I had hoped to one day stack up the library in here, get the books, get books in here after the big library was lost at my old chantry. Uh, he points up to the top of the house. But book learning is one thing, practical learning is another. And I was thinking that some of us, we probably have interlocking talents to some extent, all of us. And so I can give you a little bit of tutoring in the things I know and see if we can match it up. And he points to him. You can control the wind to some extent. Maybe we could go outside, do a bit of exercise with the wind, if you will. Tame it.
I would be very happy to do.
Yes. And you, he points to Ty, obviously, as you're marked by the beast, you can communicate with spirits. We can practice, I can see how you do it, and we can see how we could apply. What can you do, my dear?
Um, not much. I I can see magical energies and I can see them from a distance, but I think that's about it.
Ah, how do you do it?
I uh, use my tuning fork mostly. Oh, I've imbued trash
Yeah,
candidates.
I mean, you have an established like idea of how you do stuff. You just not just beyond by basic effects.
Mm.
Out of just
Fair enough.
pointing out of character. It's not like you have
Okay.
no idea how you do stuff.
Yeah. I work with sounds and music and
Hmm.
things. Instruments, probably, but I've not really been.
Well, we can. I don't necessarily know much to apply to that, but I know a bit about energies. But anyway, we can cross that bridge when you reach it. He clasps his hand together and starts rubbing them. Now,
Oh, see, I need to go to sleep, Carl. I
yeah,
really apologize.
yeah. Well, anyway, that's just fine. You can just go and rest because your character has a lame leg and stuff.
That's true. I will need to end the scene, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fine. We can all end it here. We can continue at our leisure. So, but yay, you've met all the Chantry NPCs now. Woo!
Huzzah.
Okay. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Пока.
Bye.
Bye.